Hello, and welcome back to A Course in Miracles, Workbook Lesson 10. Today's lesson is My Thoughts Do Not Mean Anything. So this is very similar to a previous lesson that we had that was these thoughts about whatever do not mean anything. So this lesson is very similar, but we are taking this away from the past into the present and away from an external thing into an internal thing. So instead of the external thoughts that we have about things, we're taking it to our thoughts specifically. For this, it is recommended that you have 5 practice periods and only 5 practice periods. These should only be done for about a minute or so. But if you have any discomfort during this, then you should do it for only half of a minute. For this exercise, again, we are told to close our eyes so that we are not focused on the illusions of the things that we see around us. We are focused only on our internal thoughts that come up, and we are going to be specific about the thoughts that we are having again. So for this process, we begin by saying the lesson statement, my thoughts do not mean anything, followed with, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. And these should be said slowly. And then go through your mind with varying thoughts. Don't focus on one thing specifically or on a specific classification or exclude any thoughts that come up. And again, say these slowly. My thought about specific thing does not mean anything. So if I am sitting here, I can do this with my thoughts do not mean anything. This idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. My thoughts about Angel does not mean anything. My thoughts about recording videos do not mean anything. My thoughts about my esteem do not mean anything. My thoughts about water do not mean anything. My thoughts about professionalism do not mean anything. My thoughts about appearance do not mean anything. My thoughts about light do not mean anything. My thoughts about comfort do not mean anything. My thoughts about purring do not mean anything. My thoughts about thinking do not mean anything. So doing that is a little hard to keep your thoughts going because I at least was getting caught on the idea of getting a new thought instead of focusing on the same thing, but you also don't want to strain it. So like you would with meditation, just take a step back and observe the thoughts that are coming up instead of trying to control where they're going or stopping them.